Hello everyone, welcome. My name is MJ Petridge. This is a P3D video where we're going to analyze the default state of P3D using no add-ons versus a completely souped up modded version of P3D version 5.1.
Right hand route 586.
Yeah, right here, right now, I basically I've just reinstalled the simulator, and this is exactly the default state. The only thing I've done, I've even left the options alone. I haven't changed anything in the display section here, the world section. These are all the default settings that come with the sim. The only thing I've changed is my key assignments I've added, which doesn't change anything within the sim really. Also the sound options, I've just tweaked those a little bit, and the information and application settings I've changed to what I normally utilize. They're the only changes I've made. Everything else is default. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into the plane here. I haven't even got chase plane installed, but we're going to get into the plane here. We are going to fire this bird up. We're going to try and use the camera system within P3D, but we're going to fire this bird up. We're going to go for a quick sort of look around flight here. This is the default airport as well in the scenario. Can't remember the name of it. I think it's in Texas. So we're going to have a quick look-see at what the land looks like, which I think we should be able to take off now. There we go. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to configure the options. I'm still not going to use any add-ons, but I'm just going to basically ramp up the sliders as much as I can. So this down here, what we're looking at is, I guess, Texas. Now the time, I haven't even configured the date. So the date is the April the 14th, 2020, which is I think when I bought P3D version 5, and that's when it came out. So I haven't even tweaked the date, so this is what it looks like, which, to be honest, if this is the default date, I think P3D really would do better selling their initial launch in the autumn to winter time, and I think things would look a little bit different, you know. But yeah, this is the state. Now, True Sky again, this is default True Sky, which it is on by default. Everything you see here is default. Even the settings for the frame rate are default, which it happens to be 30 now, which is good because that's the way I run my sim. There's the default thing that we took off from the airport. I mean, to be honest, it don't look too bad. You know, this looks a lot better than default FSX did, or even version 4 P3D default. This looks pretty good. Like, let's have a look at the nighttime now, shall we? This is where it's going to fall apart, I feel. I think the nighttime is going to look like ass. But here we go. Well, it's all, yeah, it does look like ass, to be fair, but it's so bright, isn't it? Like, look at these. These are streets down here. They must be lit up so bright. You know what I mean? It's like, my gosh. Let's have a look and see if we can see the sunset. The night sky as well looks, to be honest, the night sky looks okay. It looks alright, but yeah. There's other add-ons that make that look a lot better. I mean, everybody remembers these clouds, don't they? But yeah. So this is basically, yeah. I mean, the camera system, oh my gosh, we're going 600 miles an hour. Dude, we're going really fast, but I tell you, the textures are loading in fine. Look at that. Sharp as a tack. Now, again, I'm not using any, you know, special CFG file. It's the default CFG file. Look at that. When you pump up the volume of your aircraft and then you slow it down, you get these momentum effects. But yeah, I haven't tweaked the CFG. This is a default CFG file. Everything you see here is default. So what we're going to do is I'm going to load up at Birmingham and the Gran Canary airport now, and we're going to see what default looks like for both of them, and it's going to be the default settings as well. So won't be a moment. Okay, so we're back in the sim and we're at Birmingham here. This is Birmingham Airport. So we're going to quickly get up into the air. We're going to see what Birmingham looks like, and then we're going to head over to the Gran Canary island and see what that looks like from the air as well. So, I mean, to be honest, performance is superb. Like, if we have a look at the VRAM, I'm using 3.10 out of 10 gig. And there are plenty of trees. Okay, the landscape here isn't as good as it was in Texas. I'd probably say that this is a little bit... I still haven't changed the date. We still are in April. But, yeah, I mean, I would say there has been an improvement, but I think that improvement has not been in the textures themselves, but the way the textures are displayed with DirectX 12. I would say that's more the improvement of the textures. The textures still look a little bit rare, but from a height like up here, it actually doesn't look too bad. You know, golf courses look acceptable. The default roads and textures, I mean, everything looks okay. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look great either, and it could look far more realistic. But, you know, it's okay. I mean, look at the visibility. It goes out for miles. P3Dv5 is actually, like, really good, I think, in terms of stability, because, look, I'm using True Sky, you know, and... like, there's plenty of buildings out there. Not one, by the way, has a negative effect with True Sky. Notice that. Not one building is standing out from the atmospheric of True Sky, which you will see when we go into the add-ons phase of this video. You'll see a big difference. Right there is Sutton Park. Yeah, looks pretty much like Sutton Park. Big, you know, forest in the middle of a city, basically. But yeah, Birmingham, not too bad. Again, this is April. This is spring textures, you know. So we will come back here when we will change the season, and we will see what it looks like. So let's head off to the Gran Canary now. Okay, here we are in Gran Canary, and that is the view from the runway of Gran Canary. Okay. We are basically still using 3.2 out of 10 gig on our VRAM usage. Frame rate is still locked in at 30. Performance is really good. The camera system is really bad. Please, Lockheed Martin, sort out your camera system. Make it a little bit more fluid, a little bit more dynamically, like less whipping around, you know. Airport default, again, very sad to see. I mean, it is just an airport. At the end of the day, if you're not landing at the airports, it makes no difference. If you're just dogfighting in the sky, the airports aren't going to mean anything to you, are they, really? Water, oh, actually, do you know what? Thumbs up to that water. Look at that. Look at that. That actually looks pretty good, and it's moving. I don't remember seeing that moving when I was at Gran Canary recently in P3D, in the modded version, in my normal modded version. I don't actually remember seeing moving water. So that's pretty interesting. And the textures as well of that coral almost, it looks really good. Yeah. Textures of the ground, again, we're in springtime, so, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. It's they're acceptable, I think. I think, you know, they are lacking color, but again, that might just be down to the color settings. Like, so if I go into options, graphics, and lighting, these aren't the settings I would normally choose for my color. In fact, so if we have a look at actually the values I use in my normal sim for this, I have my brightness set to 1.0. I have my bloom set to 10 on that scale. and I have the saturation set to 1 as well. So those are my settings for the exposure rate. Now I also do use chase plane, which also uses some settings for that as well. So obviously that hasn't done hardly anything for the coloring or anything like that, but oh, we need to slow down, man. I'm a bit too fast. I'm not really used to these camera movements, I'm very sorry, but Gran Canaria just looks like a desert, to be fair. It doesn't actually look very realistic. But yeah, Gran Canaria looks like shit, to be fair. Again, this is in April, so I'll tell you what we're going to do is we are going to change the season right now to current day. There it is. Winter 143. Apply that. Yes, please. Pretty much applies it pretty fast, to be fair. So, I mean, even changing it to the appropriate time of like winter doesn't actually change much in terms of the landscape. It still looks a little bit like ass. So let's see what we can do. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Birmingham, and I'm going to change the sliders pretty much to maximum on everything, and we're going to come back to Gran Canaria and see what it looks like as well. Okay, so we're going through the settings here. Putting road vehicles set to 39, putting ships and ferries set to 6, setting airline traffic density to 25 and leaving the rest like that. The scenery library, as you can see, has got absolutely nothing in it, but what I will do is I will untick the bathymetry, as we are not actually going to see any of that. So I'm going to untick that. I'm going to click OK so it registers it in the index. There we go. And then we're going to go and configure the rest of this. So in terms of shadows, we're going to ramp up the sliders to maximum. I'm going to turn off display, lens flare, dynamic reflections. Let's see what happens when we put on ultra. We might have to turn that down to off, to be honest. I want to see shadows on pretty much everything here. Buildings, clouds, terrain, receiving. I'm not too bothered about these things receiving shadows, to be fair. So we'll leave them unticked for now. I'm going to put everything up to maximum here and see what happens. I'm expecting a full-out crash, to be fair. High resolution textures. I'm going to maximize everything. Yeah, that wasn't even enabled, and yet the information was loading. That's weird. Maximize these. Should we turn on the reflections for everything? Yeah, let's go crazy, man. Let's go nuts. God rays, turn that on. Ultra. I mean, everything. Just turn everything on to max. Now, this is insane, guys. I'm fully expecting my GPU to crash when I load this stuff in. Everything's on ultra. In fact, what I will do is turn that to unlimited to give my PC the most amount of chance. I'm going to turn off dynamic texture streaming, and we're going to give it 4K textures. I'm going to turn that off. We'll leave that as is. We'll leave that as is. And untick that. I think we're done here, to be fair. I'm going to untick dynamic 3D origin vegetation because they take frames. They look great, I think. They're a little bit bright green for the winter, but I think they do look okay. But they just take too many frames away. Let's see what happens when we load this sucker up. Again, I'm fully expecting it to crash, so we're going to head to Birmingham, and we're going to see what Birmingham looks like. We're going to use the testing plane, and let's see how long it takes to load. Now, previously, this has only ever taken like less than 2 minutes to load, like 60 seconds to load. Let's see how long it takes to load now. Well, I mean, 70% already. It's not doing too bad. We're like it literally took still less than a minute. Unless it hangs forever now on this screen. Okay, we're coming up to the minute now. Literally just over a minute. Okay? Literally just over a minute. Now, my GPU usage is only 4.9 out of 10. Whoa, the clouds. What's going on? I mean, buildings everywhere. Trees, not so much, though. Trees have disappeared, in fact. Where's the trees gone? So weird. Right, let's get up into the air and see what it looks like. Again, I don't know where the trees have gone. Oh, there they go. They've just popped in. There we go. We got our trees. They're a bit late to the party, I feel. These trees. Everything still looks like ass. Frame rate has gone down to 15. So that's bit the dust. It's a starter fest for the old frame rate. Textures still look like crap, but at least you can clearly see that. There's a lot of weirdness. Things aren't loading in as quickly as they could. Like, I can see batch loading. A lot more buildings. I mean, actually, Birmingham looks okay. Birmingham looks like France, to be fair. But yeah, it's interesting that the frame rate is still like this, because VSync is off, and I've put the frames to unlimited. So but that's Birmingham in the winter. Now, what would happen if we changed it to summer textures? If we just literally said, what does it look like in the summer? There we go. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Hang on, let's, where are we going? We're going down. Let's slow down a bit. The frame rate might be hard because we're going so fast. Right, so, I mean, as a sim now, summertime, that actually looks a lot better. That's like a big improvement, I feel. Apart from the frame rate, which is completely cut in half for some reason. But yeah, that actually looks a lot better. Like summertime. That's default. Let's head to the Gran Canary and let's see what she looks like there as default. Right, here we go. Gran Canary. Full. It does look a little bit better, you know. The trees look pretty cool, like palm trees and stuff. But it does look a little bit better. I'm going the wrong way here. Let's get in the air. I'm sure it'll be okay. God, I'm feeling that jet force, man. Oh, look at that water there. Ooh. Frame rate is a little bit better here. It's a little bit more towards 30. Using about 4.7 gig of 10. The next test we're going to do is I'm going to put in my edits for the CFG file. I'm literally just going to insert my P3D CFG and see how much that changes everything. But Gran Canary, yeah, it's the water. We're going 700 miles an hour. Dude, that's crazy. The water is still moving, to be fair. I don't know what it is that makes that water move so much. That was interesting. But the landscape, I've got to say, and again, we're not using a weather engine. This is the default weather profile of fair weather. We're just fair weather every time. In fact, shall we change the weather and see what effect it has on True Sky? Yeah, let's go through some profiles. But Gran Canary, it's still the same time, I think. Yep, still the same time. It's yeah, default textures really could do with a revamp, I feel. Let's change the weather. Let's go through some weather profiles and let's see what happens when we add, say, major thunderstorm. Whoa, yeah. Okay, can't see anything. Well, that was good, wasn't it? Let's see if we can head down beneath it and see what it looks like. Without blacking out. Again, this is default true sky. I haven't edited anything here. Oh shit. Blacked out. Blacked out. Pull up. Pull up. Oh dude, we're gonna bite it. I can't see. Blacked out. Your altimeter is incorrectly set. Dude, I can't see, let alone the altimeter. There we go. Come on, I want to get beneath this. Okay, here we go. We're going beneath. What does major thunderstorm with true sky activated look like? Oh, set the altimeter there, mate. Major thunderstorm is just a whiteout. Although things look pretty good at this height. Yeah. Oh, hang on, we got some rain. We got some rain. Hang on, let's see if we can. Yeah, we need to pull up. There we go. Oh dear. Oh dear, blacked out again. Oh dear. I'm no maverick, am I? Right. I mean, major thunderstorm, I was kind of hoping for a bit more lightning, guys. I was kind of hoping for a bit, do you know what I mean? A bit more of a show. It was a bit more of a shit show than a show. I mean, obviously, I haven't installed Orbex, so we don't have the option for Orbex in the drop-down. So let's see what building storms looks like. Still a bit grey and that looks alright. Looks okay. Ground textures again just look, you know, I mean they don't look horrible. They're not really bad, you know, but it could be better still, I feel. You know, it still could be better. And the final weather theme we're going to try is snow. Let's see what snow looks like. Winter Wonderland. Here we go. I have a feeling it's going to need to, yeah, load terrain textures. And here we are in the Winter Wonderland. Is that supposed to be snow, guys? That's definitely snow joke to me. I mean, snow? I mean, maybe it does at an altitude. But, guys, come on. Get the snow going. Winter Wonderland. What? Just looks like desert. Like, so weird. Anyway, right. We're gonna come back to Gran Canaria. In fact, you know what? We'll stay in Gran Canaria. We won't go back to Birmingham. We'll stay in Gran Canaria, and I'm gonna put in my CFG file now. At the moment, the frame rate is like 20. The VRAM usage is 4.6 out of 10. So let's see what happens when we use my CFG file. Okay, so we're back in Gran Canaria. We've got 6.8 out of 10.1 gig of VRAM, although frames are a lot more steadier at 30, to be fair. But the VRAM has slightly increased. All I've done is put in my CFG settings. So I have edited the CFG file quite extensively. for various reasons, to improve scenery loading, to improve texture showing on the landscape. Well, I think we need to take off 200 miles an hour on the ground. It's going a little bit fast, isn't it? For a lot of reasons and a lot of things, really. So yeah, it doesn't actually look like it changes much of the sim in terms of the landscape. Like my CFG file, it's more for the performance. So maintaining the 30 FPS, everything loading off to the distance, very crisp, sharp textures. The only difference between here and before is that before the display resolution in the graphics here was, before it was set to 4K and now it's set to kind of like almost half 4K. That's really the only difference to what you would see in the visuals, but in all honesty I don't see a difference. It looks pretty much identical as it did before. The virtual memory though has gone up, the VRAM GPU memory. So but yeah, this is default, the default sim with every setting maximized, basically. Yeah, running at 30 FPS. So let's now pop in the add-ons and see what it looks like with a fully modded simulator. Okay, so here we are now in a fully modded sim. This is the sim that I basically have modded the shit out of. There is so many different add-ons I use for the landscape enhancement alone, as well as sounds that you can hear. Just there's so many, honestly. I think the airport looks a lot better, you know. It looks fantastic. I think the landscape, gosh, you know, we need to take off. I think the landscape looks fantastic. The water looks better, although do you know what? After doing this video, I'm going to try and get that water moving again, because I don't think at the moment it is. I think it's a static water. Yeah, I don't see it moving, to be fair. We need to climb high, man. We're like... The VRAM usage is... actually, I've lost VRAM usage since importing add-ons. So at the moment my VRAM is topped out at 9 gig, whereas before it was actually at 10 gig, which is very strange. Like, adding the add-ons, basically I've lost a gig in what I'm allowed to use. I don't really understand that. Oh, is the water moving? Yeah, the water is moving, but not as much. Oh no, it is, it's fully moving. Oh, there we go then. Beautiful. The landscape looks far better. This is Simwings, I believe, Gran Canaria airport, which includes the entire island, and it looks fantastic. You know, it looks like it should. The whole island is covered, and it looks far better than the default stuff. Again, I'm not using a weather engine at the moment. This is the default weather, but it has got my CFG file for the volumetric clouds, the way they're displayed. But again, we're using default weather. If I actually booted up a weather engine right now, let's do that, shall we? Boot up Skyforce. This is the public beta version of Skyforce, so it's not the finalized version. And we shall load up a flight plan that we're not actually going to fly, but this helps to inject the weather a lot better, more accurately if you do put a flight plan. And all we have to do is make sure that these all three stay on, which they do, and the weather will start being injected. And we'll see it change in a moment. But this is basically P3D, fully modded simulator. my gosh. Hey, let's do some Maverick maneuver, shall we? This is where we're gonna have some fun. Okay, so basically that's it, guys. That's the difference between defaults and fully modded. And now it's time for a bit of fun. Let's do some low-level flying, shall we? Oh yeah, baby. We're gonna do some. Yeah, forget that. Forget what she's saying. We're gonna go down, dirty, quick, fast, hard to the floor. We're gonna do some fast flying, low flying maneuvers here in Gran Canaria. Top Gun the sequel, basically, is what we're filming. Oh yeah. Going into the danger zone. 400 miles an hour. Let's see if the landscapes can keep up, shall we? Oh, look at that down there. This little river. Pretty cool. See if the loading of the scenery can actually keep up with the high-speed flying that we're doing. You know? I mean, I'd say it is. Just like Beggar's Canyon back home, innit? Shooting womp rats.
Low altitude. Low altitude. Low altitude.
Never mind that. Never mind that. She don't know what she's talking about. She's not met my flying yet. Follow the roads.
Flaps.
Flaps? What? What's she on about?
Low
She's
altitude.
on drugs.
Low altitude.
Let's follow the traffic, see where it takes us.
Caution, taxiway. Caution,
Taxiway?
Caution,
She is
taxiway.
smoking
Caution,
something.
taxiway.
She's been sucking on the exhaust fumes of this plane. There's no bloody taxiway anywhere. Honestly. Chick is on something, I'm telling you. Uh-oh. Wow. Whoa! Extreme close-up. Whoa! Excellent. How long can we do this until I bite it? That is the question, isn't it? I mean, I don't think I'm doing too badly here. Everything's holding up nicely. I mean, scenery's loading in just fine. No stutters. Is that a secret CFG file? No. Oh! Oh! Can we go under the bridge? Oh, I want to go under the bridge. Oh, I missed the road, man. Where's the road gone? Hang on, we need to find that road again. I want to go under the bridge. Where is it? We're going to stall out of the sky. Full power. Come on, Scotty, give me some power. She cannot take it, Captain. Oh, yes, she can. She can take a beating and come back clean. Oh, there's some bridges there, but we can't really... Can I get under there? Can we get under there? Can we? Can we?
Low altitude. Low altitude.
I don't think we can. Ah!
Taxiway, on taxiway.
On taxiway. What's she on about? Bloody taxiway. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.